I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
You cut that bit out.
I ain't got it.
Cut that bit out.
Savage.
How'd you leave it? I don't mind.
This
Leave it.
guy's savage.
It's gone. Leave it.
And let's start with that, guys. Welcome to another episode of Your Take. The episode made by and for the youth.
You
I'm
can't
here
just
today
start
with
with me
Julian.
saying I've watched the Paralympics
Hi,
and Toy
Julian.
Story 4.
And today we're recording.
Hello. Hello, I'm Joe. I'm good, thank you. I'm very, very well. How are you two boys going?
I'm good as well. You know,
We're all good.
tell me about yourself, who you are, what you do, everything, you know.
I don't know what I do anymore, to be honest. Man. I just go to the pub. That's what I do. That's my job. So it's yeah, I'm Joe. I'm 18 from Essex. There's not much more to me, is there really?
I'm Joe, 18 from
There was
Essex.
mad. He was like, you know, I know how to do it. Just go to the pub. My name's Joe. I'm 18. Bro, you're 18.
There's not much else to me, do you know what I mean? I mean, I go pub, we go club, we go football. We repeat that sort of cycle, do you know what I mean? Spend time with family, friends. Just finished sixth form, as you know. Just finished sixth form. You know, maths, business and economics. Don't do maths. If you're considering maths A level, don't do it. Alright, sack it off. 10 minutes in, not worth it. That's my one bit of advice. Cut there.
And today we're doing mental health. You know, a nice topic, and it's twice before. I'm going to do it the third time, you know, hopefully you get a bit more insight as well, get a different insight. But yeah, we're just going to jump straight into it. Have you had any experiences with mental health, and if so, what are they?
Experience of over mental health, right? Yeah, I've had a few issues, you know, over the years. Probably the last 2 years has been kind of difficult. I think it was about the summer of year 11, going into year 12. I think sixth form I was a little bit nervous about. I didn't really feel like I was well prepared for it. And I went in there just thinking, you know, I could take over the world and everything, you know. A-levels piss easy, and it didn't work out that way. And, you know, from the first day I got it, I was like, this is going to be hard. And I don't think it prepared me for what, like, was about to unfold and stuff. I started experiencing, you know, bouts of depression and stuff like that. Like at the weekend sort of time. I was alright in school time because my mum was distracted. You know, I could go out with friends and family and that. But when I was at weekends, I struggled to really go out because I didn't think, you know, I became anxious as well. I became socially anxious. I didn't think people would want to go out with me and see me. So the times I did go out, it was just about putting on a brave face, to be honest with you. You know, and I think that's one of the main things about depression. That's the scary thing about it, that you can just mask everything with a smile. Like, no one would know. No one would know what people are going through. And I think that's why when I opened up to people, I think they were very shocked because they saw me as, you know, the clown of the lot. You know, I was always trying to make everyone laugh, going places, all the geezer was just, you know, always had a smile on his face. But inside, I really was not feeling like that. And I let that unfold a little bit too much, I think. I don't feel I spoke about anything at all to my family, to my friends or anything. So I let myself get into a deep, dark, like, depression, and that's when I started self-harming. Self-harm became quite an issue for me as well. I started having problems with myself and dealing with who I was. Like, you know, I started hating myself, to put it bluntly, I did. Like, every time I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw. And, you know, I could barely stand it. There was times that I walked into my room backwards just so I didn't have to look at myself. And that became a problem with the self-harming. Like, that was the way I coped with it. That when I self-harmed, and I felt like I was punishing myself, and it felt so good. That was the bad thing at the time. It felt so good when I self-harmed because I saw what I'd done. And again, like, people didn't see the build-up. People saw cuts on my face at school and stuff because, you know, that's when, you know, I can't really hide it when it was on my face. What you didn't see was, you know, the 3 months leading up to that where I'd cut my wrist every day. The first thing I'd do when I get up in the morning was cut my wrists. You know, instead of doing what normal people would. You know, people get up in the morning, they go have their breakfast, don't they? Go and have a bowl of Cheerios, you know, and they might think about their girlfriend, text their girlfriend. But that wasn't the case for me. Do you know what I mean? And that was the scary part, that I didn't feel like I fit in, if that made sense, because I felt like an outcast, that you know, no one else was doing that. It was just me who woke up every morning, cut themselves, and then got on with their day. Do you know what I mean? That was the first thing I did from, like, when I woke up in the morning and when I went to sleep at night. That's how I started and ended my day. And again, I didn't speak to people about it at the time at all. I didn't open up to anyone. I just didn't explain to anyone how I was actually feeling. I didn't explain to anyone I hated myself and I had a problem with who I was. Even though, again, people ask me now, like, why do you hate yourself? Why did you hate yourself? And it's hard to put a finger on where, like, things happened, but I just had a problem with, I didn't feel I was enough for people. I didn't feel like I was funny. I didn't feel like I was good looking. I didn't feel anything was good about me. And that's where, you know, the self-harming came into things, because I did that because I felt like I deserved it, if that makes sense.
Was there like a significant turning point? If so, what was that?
See, that's the thing, again, it's hard to put a finger on it. Like, I felt ways, yeah, and there was little things that happened along the journey, you know, that might have affected it, you know, relationship with friends, family, whatever. But there was never really like a key point. It was just how I felt in myself. And again, the self-harming could, like, it led to more, do you know what I mean? Like, so I've had suicidal thoughts for the past 2 years as well. But again, every day, you know, I was walking to school, I just think about sometimes just jumping in front of cars and stuff. And again, people don't know that. People don't recognise that. And, you know, I stopped meeting a friend down the road because I didn't want him to see me jump in front of a car one morning. Because that's how I felt like every day. It was just about getting through the day without killing myself, basically. And again, it was hard. It was a hard time. It was a hard time. And then, obviously, you know about John, who passed away last year through suicide. And I guess, yeah, I was, again, leading up to that time, I was experiencing stuff. I'm guessing he was experiencing as well. I can't really say too much because none of us knew. That was a scary thing. No one knew anything he was going through. That's why it's important to open up and talk about these things, isn't it? And that's what you're doing. That's what you boys are doing. That's what you're getting everyone to do. So it's great. But yeah, it was about that time that, yeah, I was experiencing stuff before that. So in a weird way, when he did it, you know, it affected me in a different way. Like, obviously, he's been my mate 14 years. It's obviously it broke me. But at the same time, I understood why he did it, because I understood what it was like, what it must have been like for him to actually think about doing that each day. Like, I understood exactly why someone would do that, because I wasn't comfortable with who I was. I didn't like any day I went through, even though there might have been good parts, it was just, I was just smiling through it all. At school I'd go and laugh and everything, but when I come home, people wouldn't really see what went on behind the closed doors. You know, I'd cry each night, I'd self-harm each night, and I just wouldn't feel comfortable in my own skin. And I knew that, I didn't know, the thing is, I always felt other people felt that of me as well. Despite the fact that people telling me, oh yeah, you're great, you're a good kid, you know, you're so kind to everyone, you're funny, all that stuff. I didn't believe any of that. And it's all well and good, you know, I mean, them saying that, but if you don't believe it, it don't really mean a thing, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't change anything.
So, like, did you have, like, I don't know, I think, like, for me, like, I didn't have, like, I think there were times maybe I'd go into, like, depression bouts, maybe, at a lot younger age, like, you know, year 8, year 9, year 10.
I wouldn't think,
Like,
see, the thing is, I would not
like,
think that. I was in your class for how many years, and I would not think that at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there was, because I like the odd, like, I think there were the odd, like, you know, crying sessions and that stuff. It was always like, I don't know, there's a certain type of, you know, resilience to get through it, and like, not everyone has that, and not everyone should feel bad for not having that. In a sense, I feel like, you know, like, so many people. I mean, like, teenagers are like, you know, they're really hurtful. You know, a lot of the time, you know, it's hard to sort of like combat what people think about you. Would you say it was? Did you ever like seek validation from other people, or was it always like a self-thing?
See, the thing is, at the start, yeah, the first like 3 months, I literally did it all on my own, and that's when it was the hardest for me, because no one knew about it. It was just me who knew how I was feeling, and that's when it was just I was trapped inside my own mind, really, because I was with myself constantly as well. I stopped going out to meet people because, in a way, it made me feel good. Just being depressed, making me feel like crap. That's what life was for me. Instead of going out and enjoying myself like any other kid our age would, I wanted to stay at home and just feel like it just felt normal to me. That's the thing. Going out wasn't normal then. But yeah, it was tough to get through. But again, you know, after I opened up to one of my best mates first off, and you know, he's still my best mate to this day. You know, and he helped me a lot. I've still got one of the messages from him that he sent me when I first opened up to him, man. No, we're not emotional guys at all. I hate that sort of stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really like talking about my feelings. Don't really like all that stuff. But he sent me a well nice message that I'm gonna hold with me forever. But yeah, he's been a great help for me the past few years. And again, I've got such good mates around me that have helped me. You know, literally just calling people sometimes in a day, going to school, seeing people you love, going out with family, going out with friends. People forcing me out was the main thing that helped me. Just people saying like, just come out because it will help. Even though I didn't want to at the time, it always, like when I got home, I always felt better. And yeah, like I said, the supportive family and friends around me have given me that opportunity, really. You know, and it's combat. Like social anxiety is a big thing nowadays. A lot of people struggle to go out and talk to other people because they like. It's not even like they are awkward or anything. It's just because they fear what other people think of them too much, instead of just like you are who you are. Do you know what I mean? Like the only person you're going to spend every minute of every day of the rest of your life with is yourself. Like, and I think that I've realised that a lot more now. That like, yeah, you can be with friends, you can be with family, you can be with your girlfriend, your wife when you grow up and whatever. But ultimately, you're going to be with your own mind for every second of every day. Whether that's whether you're 16, whether you're 66. Do you know what I mean? You're going to always be with yourself. So you just got to accept yourself first off. And I think that's the main starting point, and that's where I feel like I'm coming into a place where I can start accepting myself and push forward to recover, hopefully.
For those similar in your similar position, how would you say that opening up has helped you? Like, how could you possibly open up, and how has it helped you?
Yeah, it's never easy. That's the thing, It's so much easier said than done opening up. Like I said, it took me about 3 months, and it took me for someone to like push me to open up, because I know obviously it's hard to just talk about that stuff. It's hard to look someone you love in the eye and just say like, this is how I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling suicidal. It's not easy to do that. So like I said, the first person I opened up to was one of my best mates, so I feel like opening up to a friend is always good, and then maybe opening up to family after that, because your friends will know like your age, they'll know like stuff you're dealing with, because they'll be going through the same things as you, they'll be going through the same school, same uni, whatever, before you open up to your family, which is still important. Obviously you have to open up to them, but I guess that for me that was a little bit harder, just to like look at my mum and dad and say like, this is actually how I'm feeling. So for other people going through that, I'd probably just say, just open up to your mates first off. That's the best thing. Open up to family, but just do not bottle it up, because it'll only get worse day by day. Like, because as soon as you start feeling like that, just tell someone. Any way, any bad way, any way that you're not used to, just start by telling someone how you're actually feeling, and they'll understand. Do you know what I mean? Mental health, again, a lot of people are talking about that lately. It's becoming like the stigma around it's going. People are talking about it, opening up, especially in the youth. Young people are opening up a lot more. So I think, again, telling mates is just probably the best way to go first off,
And as well as like don't bottle it up, I would say also don't rush it as well. Like, so not as in like don't go around telling everybody, but like of course it's a hard thing for you. So take your time to sort of come out and say. So like build. So help yourself first. Like that's the building blocks you have to build first, essentially.
Yeah, but one part of the thing as well was like when I said about seek validation. Like when there's sometimes where you're like seeking validation from other people, like to think that you're good enough, or like was that something? Was it just a self thing where it was like you yourself thought you weren't good enough, but you weren't trying to other people trying to think that you were? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was it. All really came from me. Like no one really like took the mick at me or anything. No one like said bad things about me. I just felt that way in myself, that I wasn't good enough. No one ever told me I wasn't good enough. And that's again, that's a bit of a scary part, that it just all came from me. Like I was my own worst enemy at that point. Because I literally again, like I said, I don't know where it went wrong, what happened. Like there must have been a culmination of things, but again, like I said, I just started hating myself, and it just spiraled from there. Again, that was about opening up. When I opened up about that, obviously people started saying better things about me, and I started believing those things. Obviously, it's like it takes time. Do you know what I mean? Again, like you're saying about the don't rush thing, it's obviously you like don't think it's all going to be fixed in like a day as well. Like it's literally I started feeling like this, like I said, 2 years ago, probably over 2 years ago. And in a way, I still feel like that now. Obviously, I'm coming into a better place now, and I'm starting to realise I'm starting to become a bit happier, and obviously onto bigger and better things. But it's 2 years. It's 2 years. I'm still feeling like this. But the most important thing is, I'm still here to tell the tale, and I'm happy for that. Some people don't think they have, like, people they can talk to. The good thing is now there are so many charities out there. There's so many people out there. Even if you don't want to speak to your friends and family, you can speak to a helpline, you can speak to charities, you can go to the hospital. There'll always be someone out there who'll be willing to help you. And again, that's the good thing about the current century, that we have technology in a way that you can find people up, contact them, and they'll help you. And that's the good thing. Yeah.
That's great, because just a few messages can change everything.
Exactly, mate.
Obviously, it'll be slow, but that's all you need. Yeah, but guys, that's been all. It was a wonderful chat with Joe. We loved it. We loved it as well.
Thank you, boys. Cheers, lads.
Huge thank you to Joe as well. Of course, this won't be the last time we'll be seeing him.
Have we got a part two? Have I been signed a contract for part two already?
New
podcast. But of course, as always, stay positive, stay happy, raise a voice.